Hello there, you're welcome to the newspaper review here on TAF TV. My name is Eyo Keme and I'm your host for today. Like you know, in our newspaper review, we give Nigerians the opportunities to air out their views in regards to the headlines that are making rounds on a newspaper, especially the one that has to do with TUC, NLC and our federal government in regards to our minimum wage. All right, before we hit to the streets, let's first look into what the headline has for us today. Now, today being June 4, 2024, on the front page of the New Telegram, we have Nigeria in darkness, airport, orders shut down as labor cripples economic activities. You can read that up on page 2 to page 5. And still on the New Telegram, we're seeing Cardoso advocates stronger budget processes for transparency. Details of that is found on page 8. State police, we will abide by federal government decision, says IGP. Details of that is found on page 2 and page 5. Aviation industry, revenue will hit historic 906 billion naira in 2024, says IATA. Details of that is still found on page 8. Strike, federal government cannot impose minimum wage on government, local government, private sectors. Details of that is found on page 3. And still on the New Telegram on page 26, we are seeing challenges facing judiciary eroding public confidence, says Yusuf. Details of that is found on page 26. Nigerian army pulls out 16 generals. Details of that is also found on page 26. Emirates crisis, Emir Sanusi's sees stilled as labor strike grounds. Court activity. Details of that is found on page 29 of the New Telegram. Now, lastly, on the New Telegram, on page 2, we have Dubai visa face off resolved. UAE to lift ban on Nigerians soon, says minister. Details of that is found on page 2. Okay, there's a catchy headline here in regards to our Heritage Bank. It says CBN revokes Heritage Bank license. Oh, that's a very sad one. Details of that is found on page 4, 8, and page 25 of the New Telegram. All right, now moving on the Nations. On the Nation newspaper, we have very limited headlines out here. And on the front page here, we see wage, federal government, labor signs pact. Details of that is found on page 3 of the Nation's newspaper. And on the front page, still on page 4, we have OPay strongly prohibits cryptocurrency and virtual asset trading on its platform. If you are an OPay user, you actually see this notification popping up on your app each time you open it. You can read that up on page 4. Just like I told you, we have limited headlines on the Nation's newspaper. All right, now moving on the Nigerian pilots, we are seeing OT did not support IPOB's sit at home, Abia government. And now this is in regards to the sit at home by the independent people of Biafra, which took the lives of 5 soldiers. You can read that up on the Nigerian pilots on page 9. Labour Party says strike not an option. We will exhibit hardship. Details of that is found on page 10. And on the front page of the Nigerian pilots, we're seeing Nigeria grounded as ASU, TNC, FAN, 29 others join labor over minimum wage. If you're in this dearest nation, Nigeria, you would observe that in total blackouts all through yesterday, even today. Now, this is still in regards to our NLC and TUC that are currently embarking on strike. And it will shock you to know that on the Nigerian pilots, ASU, TNC, and 29 others have currently joined the strike. You can read that up on the front page of the Nigerian pilot. All right, now moving on, we're seeing on page 6, crude oil theft, colligation lures NUPRC over sensitization of oil industry. You can read that up on page 6 of the Nigerian pilot. Falana to National Assembly, pass new minimum wage act as you did to national anthem. Okay, now this is coming from an elder statesman telling the federal government and the National Assembly to pass minimum wage the same way they pass our old new national anthem. You can read that up on page 11. PDP urges Ali to flush out killer headsmen from Benue State. Details of that is found on page 12. Obaseki lauded Germany's role in combating human trafficking. Wow, that's a great one. Details of that is found on page 6. NDIC begins liquidation of CBN revoked Heritage Bank license. Now, this is still in regards to the Heritage Bank revoked license. Details of that is found on page 19. All right, that is all we'll be having in regards to our headlines that are making rounds on our newspaper. Now, like we do it, let's hit to the street and hear the reactions of people, especially for the blackout that we have had for the past 2 days. Do well to stay tuned. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, morning.
You're welcome. I would like your thoughts on the new telegram that says, this is still in regards to NLC strike. It says Nigeria in darkness, airports, others shut down as labor cripples economic activities. What's your take on this labor's and TUC strike?
For me, I will say that there is no need for labor to embark on this strike.
Okay.
Why am I saying this? Because we have been suffering before this time. Things have been going high. Labor never said anything. And what they actually held on ground and said they want the salary to be increased to 500,000 naira. I think it's very, very unrealistic.
They brought it down to 400 plus.
If you say 400 plus and 500 are so different there.
Okay.
400 and 500 are the same thing.
Okay.
So for me, if labor they are thinking about increment of salary, there are so many things they need to consider. How many people have been employed in Nigeria currently now? Okay. If you look at the statistics, employment statistics, you see that Nigeria, there are a lot of people who are unemployed. So I think the first institution to have done is for federal government to increase the level of unemployment in Nigeria. Because if you are paying, let's say if you are paying 20 persons, 400,000, why not use that money and pay like 2,000 persons and reduce the money? I believe that everybody have something doing. That's number one thing. Now, if you just pick a very little fraction and say you are increasing their salary, then the higher fraction they are suffering. It means that what you are fighting for, you are rather trying to help a very fraction of the country. Now, they are complaining about politicians enjoying the Senate, enjoying a huge amount of money. Now, they also forgot that the Senate, they are very minor people. They are just a fraction of the country enjoying the same thing. Now, they also want the civil servant, who is a fraction of the Nigerian population, to enjoy the same thing that they wanted. They are against the Senate enjoying. So it is very unfair for the labor to say they want the federal government to increase their salary to 400 and 400 plus, while there are some persons who they are looking for even 1,000 naira salary they've not seen. I know some workers, I'm of the medical sector, there are some nurses that pay them as low as 10,000 naira in the private sector. So they are paying them 20,000 naira. Now tell me, who will make those people to be paid 100,000 naira? Which doctor, which clinic want to pay the nurses 100,000 naira? Because if they increase the salary, meaning that those people they are going to suffer.
So excuse me, at this point you're saying it is not okay for government to approve this increment. And secondly, I would like to ask, NLC is like a voice to everybody, the voice that covers everybody.
No, NLC is not a voice that covers everybody. NLC, they are fighting for themselves. I want to ask a question. You see, there are sometimes they complain that when our representative they want to take an action, they didn't come to the grassroots. Yes. Are you telling me that NLC called all the workers? No, I'm talking about union. Okay. The workers. Okay, workers. Because they said I represent the workers. Okay, yes, did they call all the civil servants into a hall to discuss that this is our plight? To actually take I'll take their own.
You're saying this is like a selfish interest?
Selfish interest. Okay. I should remember that NLC came up publicly and said they are what? The owners of Labour Party. Okay. Meaning that they are also fighting for their party. Okay. They want to bring that the government so that the next election their party will have opportunity of winning the election. So
you're saying this is like another political game?
Definitely, this is another political struggle for the NLC or for the Labour Party, because they said that they are members of the Labour Party. Okay. Yes. Meaning that whatever thing they are saying now is in favor of the Labour Party and not for the masses. Okay. Because if today now the government is painted on the back on the back side, who will benefit? If the opposition will benefit, because the next election they will say APC they have failed us, let's go to Labour Party, and they end up calling the APC a bad name so that they benefit. So whatever thing they are doing is selfish interest. I must be honest, because they're looking at the larger population. They should look at how will the federal government increase the level of unemployment in Nigeria. If they are fighting for government to increase the level of unemployment in Nigeria, then we'll accept it. But when they are just fighting for all the civil servants, what about the private sector? What about the unemployed? What would they do? Because even when they approved the 400,000 naira minimum, believe me, the suffering will be times 10 of what we are passing through now.
A lot of sectors will also increase.
Everything, not a lot, everything will increase. And once you mean I don't have a job, I'm not working, I'm looking for a job. So mean that I'm back to the village. Even in the village too, I cannot stay there, so I will die of starvation.
So, lastly, I would like your thoughts. How do we intend to end this political struggle? Just like what you have said, it has all boiled down to the fact that we are fighting APC and Labour Party. How do you think there are better ways to resolve this political crisis in Nigeria?
I think
because everything seems to boil around the politics.
There is no way this problem will be solved, because you see, when you put a fuel on how will I put it, in the water, and you are a tap bringing out the water, when once the tap is contaminated, there is no way the tap will produce a clean water. So this problem is in our bone marrow. You understand me? It's in our bone marrow. So I don't think there's a way to solve this problem, because we are so apolitical in nature. We don't want the next person to benefit. It's only me.
It's a natural syndrome.
It's a natural syndrome for Nigerians.
So therefore means there's no way forward.
Unless there is a change of attitudes. If the government is willing today, let's work with the government to ensure the government succeeds. But that pull down syndrome is in our bone marrow. So unless we remove that pull me down syndrome, we will not move forward as a nation.
Okay, lastly, what's your prayer for Nigeria?
My prayer for Nigeria is for me. I need a better life. Okay. So my prayer for Nigeria is for Nigeria to do well. Let the private sector, the individual, let them work together. Because I know that what they are doing right now, everybody's working for my own selfish interest. So let everybody work that to see that your neighbor succeeds.
Not just your personal progress.
Not just your personal progress. If we don't do that, then there will be no way. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. All right, good morning, bro.
Good morning.
Yeah, I want to speak the same way you're feeling with me, bro.
Yeah.
So it's good to have you around here. All right, now on the Nigerian pilots, we're seeing Nigeria grounded as NFC and ASU have actually embarked on strike. Now, I wanted to pick it from this angle. How do you see Nigeria currently compared to the past administration?
You know, the past administration is even more better than this present administration. As for example, the cost of fuel city, you know, is too high. Then we are complaining, but now we have jammed the more monster than this. So I say Nigeria now, in terms of this, they are grounded, is more grounded than the last regime. You know, that when we are complaining Tinubu regime, you know, is the worst, because Buhari is even trying. We are saying that it's too high, you know. But at the time, you can see that they say this new government will change things because he has money. Because he has money, not knowing that it's a fucking regime. You know, so the regime is messed up, and everybody is complaining, crying. Even the poor masses can't even eat, which is very bad.
Okay, now you remember as at is it 4 days now they actually changed our current national anthem. They brought back the old one. You heard something like that, right? And now I like your thoughts. Falana says to federal government that they should pass minimum wage the same way they passed the old national anthem. Do you think it was okay to actually bring back the old national anthem?
You know, that old national anthem is fucked up since 1960 to date. It's messed up. We are reading on current anthem. That for me, I should say they should scratch it off.
Okay, they scratch it off.
Yeah, because most people don't know about it.
Obviously,
because you check current schools now, don't know their anthem. The one they know is the one they know now. These are Arise to Compact Trust, and it's the best. Not Nigeria.
So now, comparing the two anthems, you're saying Arise to Compact Trust is the best.
It's the best. Arise to Compact Trust is the best because that's familiar, something you are familiar with. You can't just come out from somewhere and just come out and change the law like that. It's very hard to adopt to it.
So, lastly, as a patriotic Nigerian, now as a Nigerian that is currently not feeling like a Nigerian, because the way you're talking, I don't think you're actually feeling the heat in this country.
I'm feeling the heat more than you, man.
Feeling the heat, bro. But you're actually speaking.
Move out from this country, bro.
You're going to jackpot, bro.
I'm going to jackpot.
Oh my goodness.
The country is fucked up.
Right,
the road, no lights, no water. We are suffering.
Okay, now before you jackpot, what's your prayer for Nigeria?
I'm praying that the Lord should give us a new government, a government that will understand the people, the government of the people. of the people and by the people.
That actually speak democracy.
Yeah, the democracy, not the government that is only self-independent on its own.
Okay.
You understand? They describe that you know that I wish that man entered P2B, Nigeria will be the best.
Okay.
Nigeria will turn to America.
Okay.
Yeah, because individuals will benefit.
So, lastly, sorry to cut you off. You just mentioned Peter Obi. Now, do you think it is more of a political party thing in Nigeria? Because the more reason why we did not have the candidate from Labour Party winning was for the fact that that was like a new party that most Nigerians did not know. So do you think that it is a more Nigeria is more based on party?
No, it's not based on parties, it's based on individuals.
Okay.
The individual matters a lot. The individual government matters itself. Because when P2B was ruling in Anambra State, the past about how many years, it was only the salary, the teacher increased, and he paid the minimum wages. He paid coppers. He did not owe anybody. That was the year I was 7 at Anambra State. I was a partaker of it. He's a very good man. But really, that system, he will still adapt to it because he's a man of, he's a self-disciplined man. You know that something that you benefit you, he will give it to you. He say work it out. He doesn't believe in give you money. He say work it out. Yeah, but this one nothing like work it out.
There's this slogan, show working. We're actually not seeing the working.
We're not showing any working. At the time, he said this regime said he give individual 5,000, which of course is very difficult. He said I implement student loan, student to be borrowing loan, which you know that is not going to be possible.
They just started it of late, but we don't know how far it has gone.
It won't even have head. It's just a camouflage.
Okay.
Because if it's loan, by now most youths,
Most students
will benefit from it. They will testify to it. But now nobody, just a like scam.
All right. No problem. Thank you very much.
My encouragement to win Nigeria that since we have been into this mess that we are not going to die. We will live to see the next generation.
Amen. Thank you, bro. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I would like your thoughts on the new telegram that says Nigeria in darkness, airports and others shut down as labor cripples economic activities. Now, I would like you to take it from the angle of darkness. You know, for the space of 2 or 3 days now, we have not had light. How has it been?
It's not good, Sha, because we used to work, we used to use light. For how many days now we are not having lights, so it's not good to be in darkness in Nigeria.
Obviously. So I also like your thoughts on this current darkness that we are facing. Is regards to the fact that federal government, the NLC wants increments in their salary.
Let me see now. We are no job, nothing to hold on. Light, we can manage light to use and charge our phone to do some kind of thing online. We don't have the light, so we don't have food, we don't have nothing. They even let us give us light. Just the light, we are okay.
You're very okay with the light. Like I like your thoughts. You are a genuine Nigerian. Let them continue with whatever they are doing. At least let them give us light. Now, okay. And I also like your thoughts on the space of 1 year now. Did you think there has been a major achievement of this present administration?
Nothing. Hardship is only hardship that I know that we are having.
So something has changed.
Nothing. Only hardship.
Only hardship.
Yes.
No, thank you very much. All right, we have come to the end of our newspaper review here on TAF TV. You have been opportune to hear what Nigerians got to say in regards to the headlines that are making rounds on our papers. Now, most of them were able to pour out their hearts in regards to what is currently affecting them. Now, you also can be part of this program. Do well to follow us up on all our social media handles, and if you're yet to subscribe, please subscribe so that you get notified each time we bring you videos that are trending and showing the reactions of Nigerians. My name is Eyo Keme and I have been your host for today. Do well to take care of yourself.